The AIBC Pitch is back, and so is the stellar cast of judges that will choose this year's winner. Tobias Bauer, Principal at Blockchain Founder Fund. Hilary Stewart-Jones, Consultant at Harris Hegan. Adine Short, Founder and CEO at Lily White. Herman Brenningmeier, Managing Partner at NYCE International Limited. Piotr Piasecki, Board Member, Revenue Capital LLC. Good luck to all the participants, and let the pitches begin.
Hello everyone. Okay, my name is Emil Makariev. I'm a software engineer and founder of Bet Engines. Today I'm going to talk about our sportsbook engine, which is tailor-made for the African market. The problem we discover is that most of the B2B operators they have lack of knowledge about the African market. Their product is built for the Western and mostly adopted to work here. Their solution is heavy, sometimes slow because of the internet in Africa. The solution we are bringing to the market, it's a product designed especially to work in Africa. It's a very low data consumption product. It's very light. We cover all the aspects like mobile money, USSD betting, SMS betting. We even made a special version for the Opera Mini in extreme mode. This is the core team. All the people have more than 6 years in the gaming industry and more than 10 years in their own field. The market potential. Regarding the AGB study, IGB Africa report, 50% of the gaming in Africa is sports betting. The annual income could be around 1.8 million US dollar. The technology. Backend was written from scratch from our team. It's based on Java. Frontend, it's based on Angular using material design components. It allows us to do a lot of modification. We're probably the only company that can offer custom modification for clients. Support and pricing, we have very fair pricing model. We can also offer support in Swahili, which is something new for the market here. The setup is super fast. Now it takes approximately 1 week after signing a contract to have a working product. Roadmap. It's a very long, and I don't really have the time to talk now, but we want to build our own risk management system, very advanced for the African market. We're now working on the integration with Kiron Sport, which will be available for USSD and SMS. And also it becomes the only platform offering virtual sports on USSD. The other thing we want to build, it's a theme builder where clients can choose the appearance of their website. They can basically build the way the website looks by their own. We're going to integrate more games, more odds providers, just to stay on the safe side and always have a backup. Business model. We offer very simple business model. Could be fixed price or GGR based. And a few months back, we introduced a new partnership model where we cooperate with the local operators. That was driven by the fact that many local companies, they own the license, but they really don't have the budget to start. I want to share one case study with one of our local partners from Tanzania and show how we work together with the local companies here. We were approached by them to build a special bonus. It's the only company that offers a daily free bet bonus. For less than 4 months, they gained more than 250,000 registrations. The GGR was over 1 billion Tanzanian shillings, with total bets more than 3.5 million. So that becomes the fastest growing sportsbook in Tanzania. And while I'm here, I'm looking for new clients, I'm looking for partnership, and of course for investments. Thank you.
Hi, just a quick question from me.
Yes.
I was a bit unclear about what you've already built. If you're intending to build your risk management tools, I'm not sure what you could supply on a B2B basis as at today.
Okay, there are a few aspects of this. In terms of integration like MTS, we support external risk management tools, but we also build our own. For example, if players want to withdraw more than a certain amount, this goes to the administrators. They need to verify this transaction. Or if there are some risky bets, we can also detect them and put them in order to wait and being approved from administrator. Also high deposits, if a new player, for example, deposits a big amount of money, that will be blocked and it will wait for, again, an administrator, a human, to look at the player profile and take a decision. But could be also automated, depends on the settings.
One final one, what raise are you looking to make? I don't know what, are your friends and family funded at the moment?
No, mostly my clients. We have active clients, we make some money from them, but we need more budget to go to other countries and to develop the tech because it's very expensive.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, we're trying to do both. Like, we started B2B. No, we started B2B, but like I mentioned, it's difficult to find clients in Africa who really want to push money into the market. There are a lot of people with licenses. They're trying to start with small budget. So for us, it's more easy to work with them in a partnership. Okay, yeah, it's still B2B. But we also help them with marketing, with... Yes, okay, you're right. In this way, it's B2B, yes.
Yeah, because if it was B2C, then you're competing with your own clients, right?
Yes, but we work in partnership with them.
Okay. I have a question. You have said you've mentioned your competitors, BetConstruct, BtoBet, and Prona Gaming. I mean, BetConstruct and BtoBet they are very good at localizing their product. They have many, many years. So why is your product going to be different and better than those when they have the experience of localizing?
One of the companies I spoke, they are a client of BtoBet. They had to wait 6 months for the integration, only the mobile money integration. They do basic integrations, and there are many problems here in Africa, like missing transactions. This is a huge problem for the people, and if you just do the integration by the API, it will never work. There are some workarounds that we look at it. Also, they do not support USSD betting. USSD, it's 30% of the market in Tanzania.
Okay, we have run out of time. Thank you very much, Emil. And I will call the next company up. Please welcome BodaPay.
Hello everyone, my name is Brian Matoke. I'm the co-founder and CEO of BodaPay. Why BodaPay? We realized collecting and dispersing or making payments in Africa is really a challenge, both for B2B and also for personal perspectives. So BodaPay is an e-wallet that enables users to receive, send and make seamless payments. So with BodaPay, we've integrated all mobile money in Africa. That's M-Pesa, Tigo Pesa, MTN, Airtel Money, as well as Glow. So we enable people to make payments from fund their wallets, and they're able to make payments to any mobile money. So let's say you're a tourist in Kenya, you've come to Kenya, you don't have a Safaricom line, you're able to make payments to any mobile money. And as well, we enable, we have open APIs that enable like gaming platforms for them to collect payments from their clients, in that their clients are able to fund their wallets through mobile money or debit and credit card to their platforms, as well as forex and different crypto investment products. So we're targeting B2B and P2P clients, whereby we'll enable people to make payments in Africa, as well as B2P, where we'll enable different gaming platforms to collect payments and also disperse payments off to their clients. So with our wallet, you are able to withdraw money to ATM direct from our wallet, and also withdraw direct through an mobile money agent to cash, or even to pay for goods and services through till numbers and pay bills. So we're looking at a market size of 2.3 trillion in Africa. That's payments in Africa and payments within Africa. And we're targeting a market size of about 0.1% for our first year of launch. And With that scope of about 500 clients in B2B, we're looking at making a revenue of about 1.47 million in our first year of operation. So with our milestones, we are 4 months old. We started in September 2022. We have already managed to release our first version of the Android app. In this 2023, we are thinking of releasing our first version of the iOS Android app and also the open API for integration to different B2B platforms for collecting and dispersing payments. Thank you.
Thanks very much. I just, again, question from the previous presentation as well. You're very new, only started up in September. So how much of this is still just an idea as opposed to a business?
So currently we realized there was really a market gap for that, for people to make cross-border payments and real-time settlement. The reason we came up with that blockchain network of doing transfers. So with the first release of version and the test that we have done with clients, and then with different platforms, betting platforms approaching us and how we can get to collect payments for them from Africa, in that they can't get to really integrate every mobile money in Africa. So
no, I understand the problem that you're trying to address. I'm just saying, how far have you gone to actually making it a reality as opposed to seeing a gap in the market?
We're already developing the concept.
Right,
Yeah.
Okay. And the other question as a secondary one is, don't you need to be regulated? I mean, e-wallets will obviously, in most jurisdictions, are regulated.
We're currently applying for PSP, Payment Service Provider Regulation, in the 3 countries that we are launching it. That's Kenya, Rwanda, and Uganda. So
those are the only countries which will then you'll be able to facilitate the cross-border stuff, presumably?
So within the 3 countries, because we've integrated MTN, Airtel Money, and M-Pesa, you're able to receive payments from anywhere in the world, and you're able to withdraw and do the disbursements.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Okay, this might be a kind of a brutally hard question, but is there a need for your product, given that, M-Pesa and all the mobile wallets, they are, by definition, mobile wallets? What do you add to that, as opposed, instead of just another layer?
You get to realize that our wallet is giving the GPS Forex conversion. M-Pesa doesn't give you that. So you're able to fund your wallet through M-Pesa, let's say in Kenyan shillings. You travel to Uganda, you have a challenge of making payments in Uganda because you can't convert to Ugandan shillings, but our wallet converts that.
Is there a need for that? Have you done the market research to see if there's a fundamental need?
Yeah, so there are businesses in Kenya, let's say like a trader in a market in Kenya, he buys stock in Uganda, he needs to actually cash out from the bank in cash, goes to the border to change to Ugandan shillings for him to make payments in Uganda. It's really a challenge. Up to 1 million shillings. Someone travels still with the adaptability of M-Pesa and every mobile money, still there's that need.
Okay. And where are you with your PSP applications?
So currently we're working under a sub-license because the process of applying for the license it's really a long one, and we have already started within the short period that we have already started building our product. That's our target for the short period of launching, at least 500 clients. For the remaining months after launch. 500, that's in B2B. Yeah. You're welcome.
Okay, please welcome to the stage, Boguk.
Hi guys, my name is Alan. I'm the co-founder of Boguk NFT platform. So essentially, Boguk is the first ever African-focused NFT platform. Our focus is to promote African art, African culture, and African fashion through Web3 and NFTs. So by way of background, you realize that African culture is heavily celebrated globally. And give an instance, the movie by Marvel, Wakanda Forever, which netted about $400 million in revenue, and the premise of which is heavily borrowed from African culture, and equally the 24.7 billion African cultural tourism market. So in essence, all this culture is celebrated, but the guys at the grassroots level, the communities, the creatives at the community level really don't have a way of tapping into all these opportunities. So as much as their culture is heavily celebrated, Some of them still struggle with joblessness, unemployment, and limited access to opportunities. So by this premise, we came together to build a platform that will allow local creatives and local communities to express their art, to express their culture, and to express their fashion through NFTs. By this, we'll work closely with local fashion creatives in Africa to tokenize their fashion expression in form of photography and in form of 3D digital illustrations, and also tokenize African art and cultural expressions and mint them out as NFTs. And by doing so, we can enable local communities and creatives get value or generate value back to the communities for their cultural and creative expression, while at the same time promoting preservation of culture on the Web3. By way of background, the marketplace, the African marketplace in terms of the NFT marketplace, Statista did a survey, and the NFT marketplace of Africa will be valued at about $111 million by 2027. So we are fairly confident that this is a growing market and that there is a high adoption of NFTs and cryptocurrency products in Africa. Equally, one of the use cases for our products will be gaming, because now that guys will have created African expressions and African culture, some of it can be sold as gaming skins and auctioned out in gaming use cases. So currently we are at the community building phase of our project and education and training. We have onboarded close to 100 Kenyan fashion designers and creatives. We are going to take them through a training process on the opportunities and Web3, because for Web3 space, education and training is key. So we're going to take them through intense training on NFTs and opportunities on Web3. Then after the training will lead up to them now minting the NFTs and hosting the first ever NFT Fashion Week, or the NFT Cultural Creative Week. This will be the first event of its kind in Africa, which will be hosted physically and also in the metaverse as a hybrid, and which will also double up as the official launch of our marketplace, which will happen about August of this year. So yes, the value proposition is the NFT Cultural Week, the first of its kind, that will be hosted annually from this year going forth, and the first ever Afrocentric NFT marketplace. So the reason why we are here for this pitch is primarily to look for strategic partners to help us push forth the NFT agenda, the celebration of culture, and most of all, to have a fruitful NFT Fashion Week come August of this year. Thank you.
I have a couple of questions. First of all, where will you be selling these NFTs? Are you going on OpenSea, on Binance? Where would you be selling them?
So we'll have our own native platform, but they will now that they'll be collected as one project, we'll still auction them on conventional NFT platforms, despite the fact that we'll still have our own platform as the central landing platform.
Okay. The second question is, explain to me then from the designer. So I love that you're working with local designers. So from the local designer, so let's just say $1, how does that break down in terms of revenue? Who gets what?
In terms of interaction with the designers?
No, in terms of the designers, because you've got the designers, you've got the auction houses, you've got your own auction house, then you're talking about royalties back to the community and your profit. Where does, say, $1, where does that dollar break down?
So essentially, given that we are primarily an NFT platform, we'll charge service fees for the auction of the platform. In terms of education and training of the designers, we'll partner with, we're already in talks with one of the partners. They're here, they're doing learn-to-earn products for guys who are being onboarded into Web3. So we'll partner with them to educate the designers, but our revenue is the service fee for the platform.
Okay, two more questions. First of all, the inaugural Africa NFT Fashion Week, why physical? Why a physical presence?
Why physical? Mm-hmm. It's a hybrid, both physical to promote that aspect. There's an African spirit of Ubuntu means oneness. So bringing people physically present together has a more cultural touch to it. But
Okay.
at the same time, it will be celebrated also in the.
And how many people would you be expecting at that?
First of all, we'll be expecting 100 of our designers, then additional people, close to 250 people attending.
Okay. My last question then is, you have talked about movies, about Wakanda Forever, and in particular, the licensing rights for those are going to be astronomical. So have you considered that? And the second thing is, what would stop them doing it themselves? Why would they license it to you as opposed to doing it themselves?
Just to clarify, I was talking about movie as a comparison on how African culture has been used as a revenue.
No, it was on your
Yes.
site.
It was just a comparison of how Wakanda made $400 million in it. But essentially, these creatives will be creating their own items.
So CryptSense is a first women-owned, fastest-growing digital assets financial literacy, capacity building and management platform in Africa with a learn to play and earn platform. So our CEO is not with us today. She was invited for the Davos conference, that is a World Economic Forum. So she's not with us today. So among the many challenges facing Africa, we have here, and according to the Crypto Adoption Index as of last year, we found 5 African countries which are among the top for peer-to-peer. So we see a need for us to address some of the issues we're facing as Africa. So here, among the many challenges facing the legacy industries in Africa, we have insufficient blockchain capacity and knowledge, we have stringent regulation, infrastructure shortcomings, and low technology adoption. So our mission as CryptSense is to build capacity and systems that enable individuals and institutions in Africa to benefit in digital assets ecosystem. Our focus areas is capacity building, asset management, custodial services, and Crypto Launchpad. So Crypto Launchpad is new, and it's ideally to address Web 2 to Web 3 companies transitioning. Our product offerings, we have the CryptSense Academy, we have a Crypto Auxiliary Launchpad, our custodial financing, and digital assets management. So our key target is family offices and H&Ms, financial institutions, blockchain startups, students and individuals who want to get into the crypto ecosystems, blockchain and Web3 organizations. So our competitive advantage is trading as a service, learning management system, digital asset and custodial financing, the auxiliary launchpad. What's different about our LMS is a learn to play and earn. So this is our competition matrix vis-a-vis our competition. So far, our pre-seed was $250,000, and to the right is our traction so far. We have over 1,300 users on our LMS, and we have 450,000 our asset management, and to date, from last year, we've generated $50,000 as of December last year. So this is the economic state in terms of people we are targeting in Kenya, that is SACCOs, and also the nature of asset management in Africa. Our goals as CryptSense Academy is ideally embrace institutional education on our LMS, that is for institutions that want to learn more on Web3 and also want to transition on our Launchpad. It's ideally to offer advisory services on projects in Web3 that want to transition and scale. Then you also have financing and asset management. This is ideally to show our commitment to impact, and one of our partners is Impact Scope, and we are working hand in hand to see that we offer impact to the African community. This is our revenue model, and our revenue comes from the services, that is service fees, transaction fees, performance fees, and management fees. So far, as at end of this quarter, we'll be launching the CryptSense token, and the pre-sale we'll be working on our pre-sale soon. And that's our fundraising plan. And we are asking for $5 million, and this is ideally how we are going to distribute it. 50% on working on team and tech development, and the rest is going to cover team cost, expansion, and licensing. And these are revenue focused all the way to 2024, end of next year.
these our institutional partners. We have Africa Blockchain Center, the Adenian Labs, L Bank Exchange, Encryptors, Impact Scope, Yellow Card, the Law Society of Kenya, among others. So thank you, guys.
Thank you. I think it's a good presentation. Issues that I miss, in general, it feels like you're doing too much. In other words, all of those 4 segments are very, very intricate, let's say, and
Yes.
needs a lot of work. So
Yes.
shouldn't you focus on 1 or 2 things first?
Maybe they have a lot of money.
Well, they didn't.
And we are looking for more.
They didn't yet. But clearly that's a story. I believe that, let's say with what you're trying to accomplish, makes sense. I'm just still missing, let's say, the red thread of where you are today and how you're going to get there, 6 months from now, 12 months from now, 18 months from now.
All right. We already have that populated. When we began with capacity building and training. Then with time, we transitioned into an OTC. We already, as at December, we had moved over 500,000 in terms of OTC services. Then slowly, the launchpad is yet to be fully functional. We are working on that one. Then also we have custodial services. So it's moving in small bits, but steady, working on all facets. Yes.
Hi.
Hi, sir. How are you doing?
Habari yako?
Later.
What are you looking for? Just
So far, we are looking into our funding round because we want to scale across Africa. We are largely in Africa. However, in terms of our LMS, it's in Africa. We have users from Asia, Southeast Asia, and we have some in Europe as well. So we are looking to scale.
And what's the present income?
So far, as at December, we were at 50,000, having launched in last year.
And it's coming from which part of the-
OTC, and the LMS, the Learning Management System.
One more question. You were asked about kind of the scope of what you're doing. What's the experience? Because in all of those channels, to be the teacher, the supporter, everything. What's your experience collectively?
So far, on areas, we have partnerships with distributed labs. So they assist us in terms of training, and they have experience vast over 10 years training. We have seasoned traders across Africa and Europe as well. We have 7 in Africa, 2 in UK, and 1 in the USA.
Okay, thank you very much. I think our time has run out. Thank you very much, CryptSense Digital Group.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sami, and I'm the CEO of G&K. So G&K is just an AI writing software that allows users to write original content from keywords. So what users does, you just input a few words or a few phrases, and then the software does the rest. So what the software does is, it can either generate SEO articles, meta descriptions. You can also write an outline or an idea of your article. And so let me just begin by the problem. So for example, now we have got writers, and also we have got web developers. We have got also developers who are creating websites for their clients, and sometimes coming up with even idea of what you want to write about, and even bloggers. Sometimes there are some people who are focused on SEO mostly, so they would like to write maybe an article about marketing, somebody who is focused on marketing only. You find that it takes a lot of time to do keyword research. Personally, I'm an SEO consultant, and I'm also a developer myself. And I know that coming up with new ideas of what to write about is always a challenge. And that is why now G&K is an AI software that allows users to input a few phrases, and then the software can be able to generate the ideas for you that you can write about. It can also generate for you the meta descriptions. You can also write a full article using the AI software. And so our solution, as I mentioned, that it can allow you to write SEO meta descriptions, emails, and even full articles. And also there is a software that is in the market right now, which is called ChatGPT. So ours, we launched ours in October, and ChatGPT came up in November. And you might be wondering, what is the difference and what is your solution? So when you go to ChatGPT, for you to be able to generate any content, you have to describe everything on that section to input, to come up with something that you want. But with Jiandike AI software, we have structured in a way that there is a section for the topic, and then there is a section for the language, there is a section for the keywords, there is a section also for the tone. So all of those things have been arranged very well, such that it makes the work easier for users to generate content. And also, the solution that we are offering, we are using the technology from OpenAI. It is a new company that is doing research on language model, natural language processing. And so what we do is that we fine-tune or we train using our own data so that we customize the software to generate content that is fine-tuned to the users. For example, I can be a user who wants to write an ad copy. So the solutions that are there, they can just provide random content. But now what we have done is we have trained our software to be able to generate it based on what the user requires. And so our target market, it is business to business as well as business to consumers, writers specifically, as well as copywriters, as well as marketers also who like to write ads. So our market size, it is 420 million. That is according to viral marketing article that was published in 2021. It is 420, and by 2030, AI writing assistant is projected to be 1363 million. And it is a new technology, and there is an advancement that is going on. And so far, in this market, we launched it in October, and we started marketing it on November and December. And right now, we have more than 800 users, and we are our software is charged. We are charging users on a monthly basis. So our competition, as I mentioned, it is ChatGPT. And competitive advantage, I've described that. It allows you to write content in an organized way. And we have also fine-tuned it based on users' requirements. And also we make money by charging the users every month. So we are here also to ask for funding because we are looking forward to improve this software to incorporate even the Swahili language and train it such that it can generate Swahili words in a very nice way for those who would like to prepare content in our local language. So marketing strategies, I'm an SEO myself. I've been doing SEO for many years, for more than 6 years. That is, I've been doing it myself, even as the CEO. And so I can be able to organize the company to market ourselves on SEO, influencer marketing, Facebook groups, and also target ads. So Kenya is one of the biggest markets for writers, as you know, especially on content writing. And so our market is big. So far, we launched it on October, and in November, and in 3 months, we already have more than 800 users. Thank you.
A nice accomplishment, 2 people. Very, very impressive. 800 users generating how much?
So per user, it is ranging around more than $150. 150 Kenya shillings, 1,000. 150, yes?
150?
We are charging $6 per 25,000 words and $12 for per 60,000 words. And also for unlimited content generation, we charge $50.
I mean, you're in a space that I think is going to grow dramatically, to say the least. And I think it's probably one of the most, it's quite impressive what you have accomplished in a very short period. So I'm just trying to think, how do you grow from, let's say, where you are today? You're looking for 200,000. I mean, isn't this the type of company that needs millions and millions?
Yes, absolutely. But in the beginning, we would like to start with that. Because right now, I'm the lead developer myself also. So already I'm there. So, and we already have 2 more developers and 1 more content manager. So we are looking forward that can be able to help us in the beginning. Though as we go ahead, we would like to, because we would like even to include the option to generate images from text from the software. So as the time goes, we shall be requesting for more.
Can I just ask as well, in terms of obviously the per user charge being relatively low, how many users are you going to need to get to the point where you even break even on the technology capex?
So at least 1,000 returning users who are paying every month in the beginning. But for us to reach our goals, we are looking forward to more than 50,000 users in the beginning.
One other supplemental question is the 200K, are you looking for an equity partner? Is that the idea that they would have shares in the business?
Yes, they will have shares of the business.
How much?
So I think we can be able to discuss on that as time goes.
You're pitching.
My only question is ChatGPT. I mean, they're the darlings. Are you not kind of scared right now? They're the darlings. They've got a lead on pretty much everybody else.
Not really, because they are not scared, because when we launched ours, it was just a month and then ChatGPT came. And we saw that most of those users who signed in, they are still preferring us other than ChatGPT because of the user cases. Because ChatGPT just gives users random text based on their inputs. But ours, we have trained and we have fine-tuned it to provide for marketing and businesses, and also as well as for writers also. So, yeah,
okay, perfect. We're out of time. Thank you very much. That was very interesting. Next up, I'd like to bring Reward Ads, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Gideon Ikindu. I am the co-founder and CEO of Reward Ads. Reward Ads is an advertising and marketing platform that was created to address major key issues that we saw in the advertising industry, more so within the East African borders. What are these key issues? Ad blindness, lack of control of ad spend, and the inability to collect accurate data analytics for most of our clients and also for the consumers. So we call ourselves a TikTok of advertising simply because we are a disruptive mobile advertising platform that is changing the advertising landscape. And how do we do this? We do this by giving advertising control to the metrics of the client and also by incentivizing the consumer to engage with our content. Reward Ads is built on a platform that is application-based, and our application has major touch points. This is data collection, direct consumer access, direct consumer advertising, marketing space, and also an e-wallet where the consumer, once they have engaged and earned, they have a wallet that they can get their proceeds from. Our ad dynamics are broken down into 4 major key areas, and these are 4 areas: video advertising, where we have short videos that consumers can watch. Once they've watched and engaged, there are a few questions that come after that, and if they answer the answers correctly, they get rewarded directly into their mobile wallet. We also have ringtones. They can adopt the ringtones of any of our clients' jingles or beds as their own ringtone, and after that, and going through the criteria, they get rewarded. We have banners. These are the most common banners that everybody uses today. We use a lot of banners for advertising currently on all the conventional platforms. The difference with Rewarders is we have all the users reposting the same content as if they were micro-influencers. So instead of paying one influencer to speak to 100,000 people, pay 100,000 people 50 shillings to speak to 1 million people. Our surveys and questionnaires, we also have these that are both open-ended and closed-ended. So we have multiple choice questions and open-ended questions that allows our clients to be able to collect data from the consumer and also ask questions relevant to their brands and get real-time information. This data is then transferred directly back to the client through a data portal that is real-time. So this is just a breakdown of how the content and processes work. So we have videos, ringtones, banners, and surveys. But for the client, we also have this, the portal. And in the portal, we have a centralized campaigning platform that allows you to have real-time reporting analytics, instant measurable engagements, absolute control of your campaign and spend, measurable reach, direct access to the consumer, budgets and monitoring. So you have the real access to monitor your budgets as they happen real time. We also have a campaign matrix that gives us hyper-segmentation, allowing us to do geofencing and location heat maps. We're also able to give the client the control of their budgets, which has been a very big problem because most of the time you're given a block figure to spend by your agencies. And then the cost of conversion analytics. So every agency or every client has the cost to consumer that they must achieve if they want to gain those consumers. Imagine if you didn't have to spend that money and all you had to do was pay the consumer directly to engage with your content. Some of the benefits we have is we are data-driven. So we have data safeties, we have target controls, and ad verification on blockchain. So we've built our system on a blockchain platform that allows compliance with the guidelines therein. We also have target controls, and that allows us to manage the target of the control of the consumers and also how the client wants to engage with the consumers. We also have data safety protocols that are in place, such as CCPA and HIPAA. Currently in the Kenyan market, we've not met within the African market very many competitors in our brand and product, simply because we give direct cash. Most other products give different forms of incentives, either in discounts or vouchers. We give direct money to the consumer in their wallet. Our current market is about 6 billion that is being spent in Africa on content generation, and we're hoping to tap into that at 1.5%. Our current ask is 500,000 for 2.5 valuation at 20% stake.
No, are you live? Is it running?
Yes, we are live.
And how much is it generated?
So far, we've generated 20,000 USD in the last 6 months. We've been in market. We have done our POC with one of the biggest telcos, Safaricom, within the East African market, and looking forward to doing more with more telcos as we grow.
The idea seems exceptional, except I'd expect that somebody would basically say, okay, if I'm using it, it's successful, suddenly it should start trending. Is that what you see? Because that's not how it's...
Well, initially when we launched it, we did see that particular growth because we didn't have it on the Play Store. So what we were doing was sharing the APK with different levels of people, and that grew from 1 to 4,000 in about a week. When we went live with Safaricom, when we did a POC, we tapped into about 8,000 in about less than 2 weeks. And since then, what we've done is, because we needed to keep building our system, and we didn't have any funding at the time, it's taken us quite a bit of time to keep rolling out the products into the market. But as we speak now, we are live in market, and we have been able to serve about 15 clients successfully.
The concept isn't necessarily brand new. I mean, the idea of paying the consumers directly to engage with your ads exists. It's it's not just in advertising, but also ad blockers, also gamification. First of all, what's different to yours, and why does the blockchain make it advantageous?
Okay, so for us, what we've realized in the market is a lot of people who've been doing the same kind of thing either give tokens, vouchers, discount vouchers, or you have to collect quite a number of points before you can get $1 that you can convert. And a lot of the time, the money that they get to spend, they have to spend on digital platforms on the internet. They can't withdraw that money into actual tangible cash. The advantage we have, having built in the East African border, is because we have mobile telco wallets in Africa. We've been able to translate the earnings directly into actual money. So if I watch an ad worth 50 shillings, I get 50 shillings immediately. I'm done watching it into my mobile wallet that I can then use to transact immediately after that. So our difference is the fact that we're giving cash to hand immediately after engagement.
Is just in relation to that, is that a pass-through cost to your clients? In other words, the cost that you give. So
yes. So instead of the client having to spend the money advertising on billboards, banners, or running a campaign on a social media platform, that money and the cost to acquire the consumer is what is translated into reward ads. So the client then spends money through reward ads to achieve the same goal, only now with a guarantee that each consumer has actually consumed the content they've created.
So what's your expectation with the 500,000? What are you going to do and how fast you're going to grow?
So for the 500,000, we're looking to scale and to build capacity. And we also need to finish building our iOS side of the platform, because we realized when we launched with Android only, and a lot of people who are now engaging with us are on iOS.
Thank you very much. Time's up. Thank you very much. Okay, please come to the stage, the Africa Blockchain Center.
Good afternoon, everyone. We believe in one core vision, and our vision is we believe that we'll be a Pan-African leader in blockchain development across multiple protocols and create a resource pool of talent, hence making us the home of blockchain technology in Africa. My name is Jeff Kungusi, and I serve as the CEO of the Africa Blockchain Center. Why is that? As you see, in Africa as well, there's a massive lack of knowledge in regards to development skills, and also blockchain engineering, core blockchain engineering, lack of core policy and regulation in terms of how we're able to regulate some of the infrastructure and technology that we develop, lack of awareness in terms of C-level management and terms of budgetary decisions that have to be made in regards to actually developing these solutions for production. And how do we solve this problem? How we solve this problem also is Web3 consultancy towards multiple companies in Web2 and Web3 as well. Capacity building, and our focus is training 10,000 blockchain engineers in the next 5 years. And also research and development, where we actually look at deep technology and see how best we can be able to leverage this technology to provide solutions to market. The opportunity, looking at 4 sectors across agriculture, finance, government, and healthcare, you notice that within a trajectory of 2015 to 2025, there's a 30% increase in terms of blockchain development in Africa as well. And this means developing solutions and not just developing on top of protocols as well. And you'd notice as well that 60% of Africa is purely built, and it's purely the youth under the age of 25 years. So this basically means in the next 5 to 10 years, the opportunity will grow in terms of developing solutions on blockchain technology as well. And notice that also last year, 2022 in review, you notice that we had multiple initiatives on multiple protocols, also making initiatives in Africa and seeing how best they can be able to develop a community to leverage the protocols as well. Now, traction. The company being 1 year fully operational, we've been able to conduct 100+ training sessions, including 1 accelerator program through our partner Elbank. We have 6+ products in productions as we speak right now. We have 2 which are about to release and hit beta market by the end of Q1. We have 2 integrations that we're doing with multiple startups that we're working closely with. And we have 3 client products, also working with the clients in regards to making sure that security and audits with some of our partners we work with are actually exceptional and making sure that they hit the target market properly as well. We have 35+ research and development projects. Why? Because we conducted a 5-country hackathon last year where we were able to get also close to 100 projects. And we also conducted a training program for the last 5 months to make sure that we train capacity in regards to blockchain development before the end of Q4 last year. In terms of revenue generation, the company being in operation in the last 1 year, we've been able to generate $100,000, and we are working towards, with some of the initiatives that we have lined up for Q1, we're looking at a projection of $500,000. In terms of venture building, we're working again with multiple startups, introducing them to different VCs based on our network to see how best also they can be able to leverage and get investment conversations as well. Blockchain R&D, as mentioned, that we have specific projects that we are tuning before we release to market. Outbound blockchain, where we do multiple workshops and events across different countries in Africa. Inbound blockchain, where we do a lot of in-house development and integration of multiple solutions, including SSI or self-sovereign identity as well. Some of our partners, we have Imago, Octave Advisory, Algorand Distributed Labs, TD-Fi, Jomo Kenyatta University, Albank, Impact Scope, Cripsense, CodeSpace, D-Health, so on and so forth. The team composition, we have a community manager with tons of experience, Ops, Anderson Rioba, who's our lead knowledge manager, and I as the CEO of the company. Thank you.
In the blockchain, there are many different technologies. Which technology are you focusing on?
So our first focus is more so 3 main protocols: Algorand, Cardano, and Ethereum development. But then again, we noticed that there's a massive opportunity around IoT or hardware, and how can we also peg in that space as well. So we're also in talks with IoTeX protocol to see how best we can leverage the protocol itself to develop solutions that incorporate hardware and software.
You're profitable today?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so you need money in order to really grow, I'd imagine. How do you see that as a plan, let's say over the next 2 years, and how much money are you looking for?
The ask that we have is $10 million for 15% equity. Why? Because we look at scaling to 5 more countries. And why? Because based on the research that we did across the 5-country hackathon we did, and also since we train multiple students across 6 countries, we noticed that we have other African countries who want to leverage the potential that we offer as the African Blockchain Center. So this means that scaling research initiatives as well, because we're looking at deep technology, cutting across self-sovereign identity, cutting across developing multiple or new network protocols as well, and looking at how we can be able to make our solutions for Africans by making sure that they're highly optimized as well.
Just one from me. I saw that CryptSense is one of your partners, but it strikes me that there's an element of overlap and competition between your businesses. Is that the way that you see it?
So basically, we support CryptSense in terms of development. And why? Because we are close partners. They focus on the cryptocurrency aspect of things. We focus on the technology aspect of things. So in terms of development of the token mentioned, development of the wallet, development of smart contracts, development of deployment or networking protocols as well is what we are looking at on our end.
Thank you.
Please welcome the Landcoin to the stage.
Yeah, hello. My name is Timothy Ageve. I'm the founder of the Landcoin, a software engineer and trader. On the side, I do invest in real estate. And some of the challenge I've been facing in the real estate industry is sometimes record keeping. I remember, especially in 2020, during time of COVID, there's a time I gave my tenants a month off because they weren't there. And coming to keep all those records, someone pays maybe in March. You don't know if is it in the February's rental income or is it the March rental income. It has been quite a challenge. So I came up and built this platform called the Landcoin, which makes the process quite simple. My tenants don't actually have even to memorize my pay bill number, account number, wallet address. They just need to know which room they are doing. If it's room 23, they just click pay. It immediately goes into my wallet address. And so I decided, let me not be selfish, let me take it out there. Now, other users can actually list their properties. You can list whether it's land, whether it's a building. It gets stored as an NFT. You get a URL. You can put it into any e-commerce system. And once that property maybe has been bought, it gets burnt. That way you prevent like double allocation and all. So one of the interesting parts, ever since I introduced this platform, it's now January. I expect people to be broke, but people have already paid. I'm actually gotten 500,000 with 500,000 just Kenya shillings. With a very small number of users, actually more than the income. I'll show you in a few how I made that possible. But before that, let me just share some of the status quo, some of the problems people face, including record keeping. It's quite hard to check through bank statements and M-Pesa statements. But with this platform, each user, both the sender, I, and also the tenants or the buyer, the seller, the agent, they have a dashboard where they can actually see that transaction. Secondly is like the double allocation I mentioned about. I'm able to do that implementing blockchain, the NFT, such that once a property is bought, it gets burnt, that URL is no longer available on other sites. We also have expense of real estate assets. You know, these things keep on skyrocketing. But I have a feature where someone pays within my land, the app, where they can claim a discount. So if they have to pay, like for example, 10,000, they end up spending maybe 5,000. But behind the scene, I'm using trading strategies such as arbitrage, where I'm buying tokens very low and selling them quite high, offsetting their debt, and I still remain with much profit. We also have loss of funds, because you can misplace an account number, just a single digit, and the funds get lost. But with this, each property, the account number where it's supposed to go to is attached to it. So the moment they choose, maybe they're paying for maybe Kilimani property, once they click pay, it goes to the automatic receiver without them having to cram that. Then some of the features on the platform include the NFT minting for each property. We have blockchain storage, so if someone they're listing their property, maybe they're changing the price, if they're changing the purpose, for example, it was for sale, now they want to make it rental, all those details are stored on the blockchain. We also have the transaction dashboard, as I said, then the AI-powered bot, and we also have the e-wallet, which supports both fiat and crypto. So currently the market validation, because housing is actually a basic need, shelter, it's currently valued at 3.69 trillion, and we currently have a gap of 320 million crypto users. In terms of the market strategies, it can be business to business. For example, this business, the trademark hotel, renting out this room maybe for the Sigma Ventures. It's also sometimes business to client. For example, you have agencies like Kwetu Homes having different tenants, and it can also be client to client. You're just an individual landlord, you're renting out to your users. Our revenue model is through the transaction cost, because you know, as you're listing, there's a small percentage of gas fees, which we have created a gas token, which we have manipulated the market such that to get a percentage of it. And we also have like the arbitrage, which I said when someone claims a discount. Why us? We're the only platform which provides users a discount without hurting anyone else. And basically, yeah, thank you for your time.
I think it's kind of interesting because basically you're in real estate, you saw a need, you developed the product, and now basically you're funding it, and now you're becoming ambitious with it. I think it's a good start very often. I'm just trying to figure out the execution because I wanted to see a bit more as to what exactly the tech does, how it exactly works, because I understand the very basics of what you're trying to convey. But I think, you know, for the pitch, you would have to be a little bit more, you know, to the point. With regards to, let's say, if we talk about your run rate at the moment and where you are, maybe you can explain that a little bit as to, you know, are you using it purely for yourself? Are you giving it to others? How do you find your customers?
So currently I've used it for myself and some few neighboring apartments and agencies. There's some law firm which also store just their records there, and a few apartments to use it. Currently officially launched it in December. So far I've been able to raise 500,000 out of it. And basically on how it works, it's basically, so for now we have created a progressive web app where users, there's the list property page where people upload details of their property, it gets minted as an NFT. Then there's a page for search property where someone can put the property title or the house, the property name, it shows all the details of that property. Then, for example, if I listed it and someone else has a dispute, we give users the opportunity to actually click deposit and say that, no, I dispute that. So if there's any other buyer, they can use their discretion. Would they want to proceed with it or not?
Okay. So where are you looking for?
Huh?
Where are you exactly looking for?
What I'm looking for?
Yeah, money-wise or?
Oh yeah, money-wise, I'm I'm aiming for at least 500,000 USDT for 10% equity.
Okay, thank you. So you value your business already at 5 million, not a bad deal. Okay.
And the final startup is Tunza Labs. If you'd like to come to the stage, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Newton Mushira from Tunza Labs. Tunza comes from a Swahili word, which means care. So welcome to the story of Tunza and the story of caring about Africa and the rest of the world. So Tunza is a project by Tunza Labs, and Tunza Labs basically is a company that offers payment solutions using NFC architecture while embracing blockchain. I'll give you a story of how Tunza was born. I happened to be part of a community service program at a public primary school in Kenya, whereby I got to experience and see so many kids going days without having even a single meal. And I decided that it was up to me to at least make something that would help bring that to us to an end. I'll give you facts that might be hard to swallow, facts that might be sad, but still they are facts that are true. The first fact is that there was a research that was conducted by CAF Africa, and it was conducted on gamers in Africa. And they found that 59% of the gamers were more likely to pay to remove ads if some of the cost was going towards charity. I'll give you a second fact. 1, 2, 3. Every 3 seconds, there's a kid somewhere in Africa dying due to hunger. That is real sad. So at Tunza Labs, we have a project called Tunza, and Tunza is a digital platform that enables public primary school children to access the cheapest yet most nutritious meal in Africa. How do we do this? We have a virtual wallet, which is a blockchain-built virtual wallet, which enables parents, guardians, and various stakeholders to be able to deposit money into a virtual wallet. We also issue our kids with NFC wristbands linked to the virtual wallets. We also boast of having a decentralized kitchen where we make our nutritious meals to be offered to the kids. I'll take you through the typical process of how we do this. A parent loads money into our virtual wallets through M-Pesa, Airtel Money, PayPal, and even bank transfers. We issue their kid with an NFC wristband, which is linked to their virtual wallet, and the kid is given a dish to go to school with the parents. Before mealtime, we have prepared a very nutritious meal from our centralized kitchen and under internationally recognized standards. And this meal is dispatched to our partner schools through by mealtime. The kids queue, and we have one of our attendants scanning each of the kids' NFC wristband, hence withdrawing the funds required for that particular meal. The kids eat, they are served and eat, and they are able to attend the afternoon classes, being energized and ready to attend classes. Why was this necessary? There are 2 ways that kids are fed in Africa. The first one, parents go and give their packed lunch for their kids so that they can go to school with. But this brings 2 issues. By mealtime, the food is stale, or by mealtime, the food is cold, hence unpalatable. The second way is kids go home for lunch. Probably the kid lives 10 kilometers away from school and is expected to come back for the afternoon classes. They're going to come back tired and not able to concentrate in class. So our business model is very simple. Our business model, how we make a profit is through transaction fees. That is 3% of the meal. The value of the meal is charged as a transaction fee. And the other way we make profit is through sales profits. We'd also like to evaluate how the market. So our markets in Africa, or globally, stands at $2.54 trillion. And in Kenya, our market stands at $49.72 billion. Thank you.
Of course, it's incredibly laudable, but I know what my primary school was like. I wouldn't have ended up the day probably with my wristband still on my wrist. So, are they safe and secure for the kids to have them in terms of, or can one kid queue up and get 20 meals with 20 different wristbands?
Thank you for the question. The wristbands are really secure since they have a locking mechanism, like a watch, and they're made out of material that is really friendly to the skin and won't hurt the kids, so they won't be inclined to remove it. It's actually a really friendly thing to the kids.
Just following up on that, what's in terms of the revenue model? I understand the 3% service charge, but what about the unit cost per wristband and manufacturing?
The unit cost per wristband are right now amounts to around 150 Kenya shillings.
Who effectively is going to be your customer? I mean, of course, the schools, etc. But I mean, how are you going to introduce it, to, let's say, those institutions? How are you going to introduce it on a larger scale?
Right now, we already have 11 partner schools, and we, as per the schools when they were being closed, we had been able to achieve 45,000 meals delivered. So we already have partnered with the education boards of county governments, and it's a problem that the government is inclined to help us since most public schools in Kenya don't have school feeding programs. So it's a social impact project that also can be profitable.
And you said the food comes from your kitchen?
Yeah, the food comes from our kitchen.
So really, you're going to get involved. I mean, I understand the whole tax side, the 3% that you're taking, but producing the food is a whole different ballgame.
Yeah. So right now, the reason why we do that is for us to be able to control the quality of the food that we are giving the kids, so that we can also be able to keep track of the quality and the quantity that we are selling to them.
Okay, so right now your ambition is to do this in, I take Nairobi, in a particular area?
Right now we are live in a county called Kirinyaga County, and we are serving one school in Embu County.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in general, what are you generating so far?
We're generating, we've been live for 3 months, and we've been able to get profit of up to 1.7 million Kenya shillings.
Okay, and your idea is basically to raise money to what extent? Because I guess this is more for NGOs than for private business, right?
We're looking for 500,000 euros to be able to scale and be able to reach all other schools
in that area. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We've seen it as great as 87% or in some schools. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, we have come to our conclusions. Before I announce the winner, I think these three, sorry, that was so generic, would like to say just a few words on the pitches. So if we start with you there.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that everybody was here, because it's not easy to go through 9 pitches. From my perspective, it was very interesting in the sense of that, the variety of, let's say, the pitches was, quite different. Most of them were indeed startups, but not all. Of course, they're still in the startup phase, right? Let's be honest. Before your business is 5 years on, and before you're fully profitable for, let's say, 2-3 years in a row, you're still a startup. But the bottom line, what I felt is that, the pitches were, they had in their mind as to what they wanted to say, etc. But the pitches could have been done better. So, the one advice that I give to a lot of the guys here in the room that did the pitches, you gotta try harder. You gotta work harder at the paperwork. You gotta work harder at the pitch, how you're gonna do it, how you're gonna get your message across. And it's a very old adage that everybody says, but if you cannot pitch me within 30 seconds, within an elevator, getting enthusiastic about what you stand for, you're losing me. So, you gotta get that down. And that's the one, major thing that I would like to emphasize here, besides, a lot of the issues related to finance, etc. But in general, job well done. Thanks.
I'd certainly reiterate that in terms of the professionalism that we saw, and the ideas were, for the greater part, very well presented. But I agree in the sense that we're not here to judge the pitch, really. We're here to judge the idea, but in some cases, if the pitch lets you down, you don't get to see the idea and the full imagining, within your company. But, thank you very much.
Hello, everybody. Once again, thank you very much for great pitches. I hope expect of the winner. We have winner. Expect of the winner. It will be also in the nearest future to an opportunity to meet us personally in this event, and I would also advise to anybody pitching to apply to our community. We support scale and rise startups in a fast and efficient way, having a support of 7,000 active investors from Europe. So congratulations, especially congratulations for the winner, and also keep going. It was a great time to be here.
Okay, so without further ado, first of all, we would like to offer 2 highly commended commendations to the Landcoin and Giandike. We were very impressed with your presentations, so very, very well done. And the winner today is Cripsense. So please come up and get your trophy.